keep it that way. Are y'all having a great 4th of July so far?
Yeah.
Good to hear. I do have some safety instructions. You guys seem like a rowdy bunch. So no standing while the boat's in motion, no smoking or vaping of any kind, and do not go in the water. If you find yourself in the water, first off, shame on you. Second, stand on up. It is 4 feet deep. You are being dramatic. If you drop something valuable in the water, raise your hand. That way we can all raise our hands with you and wave goodbye to that item. Do you guys have any questions for me before we get started? Cool, that's normal. Y'all sit back, relax. We are called Bricktown because you guessed it. All of the old brick buildings around us. Most were 100 to 130 years old. We started out as a warehouse district. That was late 1800s, early 1900s. Back then, this was the commercial center of Oklahoma City. But y'all, those good times of commerce did not last. The Great Depression happened in the 1930s, wiped the area out. Bricktown was abandoned for about 50 years. In the 70s, we had one of the highest violent crime concentrations in the nation. So in the 90s, we got to work, we went through some major revitalization, bring you all the entertainment district that we have today. And if you look closely above the Native American women, you're going to find our state bird, the scissortail flycatcher. What isn't pictured here is our state vegetable. Any guesses on the state veggie of Oklahoma? No. It's super funny, y'all. We chose our state vegetable in 2007, and we chose the watermelon. Yeah, we chose that in 2007, y'all, because in 2006 we exported 30 million pounds of watermelon. We have a huge watermelon festival every August in Rush Springs, Oklahoma. Our state fruit is the strawberry. Now, hablo en español. Do you guys speak Spanish? Muy bien. Bienvenidos. We're going to start the Spanish speaking portion of our tour. That's 2, 1. Okay, so behind us was Upper Bricktown. We've now entered Lower Bricktown. The difference is the oldest building on this side of the canal was built in 2003, and we started giving tours in 1999. So for the first 4 years, this was the imagination portion of the tour. Nothing to see at all. Now we have this big movie theater in front of us, and to the left, this is Harkins Theaters. We were very fortunate to host the red carpet premiere of today. Now the canal water is not green because of St. Patrick's Day, it's green year-round. We make it green with copper sulfate so that algae doesn't grow, so that people can't see the bottom. We have a ton of fish in the canal. We don't put the fish in here. Ducks will fly to other waterways, so we get fish eggs in their feet, and we'll drop the fish eggs off here unintentionally. That's how we get our koi, goldfish, catfish, you name it. Last winter, when the canal froze, we came out here to break up the ice around the boats. We saw this big orange construction sign under the ice. So we're like, oh, we gotta get that out. We start breaking the ice above the sign, and it swims away. It was the koi and the goldfish huddled together for warmth.
Oh, wow.
Now, a little secret, y'all, there's not a ton of fish currently because we just drained the canal. So we drained the canal into January, most of February. So for about a month, there was no water. It had been 6 years since we last drained it. It's a record. We're 100 electric scooters from the canal. It is very deepest part. Any guesses as to why we have a deep part of the canal?
It's a drain?
Yeah, that's correct. Usually, if nobody says anything, I go, what's the deepest part of your bathtub? The drain. So we have just entered the deepest part of the canal. We are now going over the drain. The drain is in constant circulation. It takes the water down and spits it out of our waterfalls, built to it. And now we are leaving the deepest part of the canal. It is 8 feet deep just in the area behind us. Now on the right, here we go, y'all. Niagara Falls. Don't act like you're not even ready. A little less impressive on the left, the Residence Inn. Are any of y'all staying here tonight? Senator Enoch Kelly-Meany, who also sculpted the statue on top of our Capitol building, the Guardian statue. He was the first Native American congressman, and his statues face each other. Like I mentioned earlier, we have 39 different Native American tribes here. Only a handful of those tribes are from here. Vast majority of those tribes that got here via the Trail of Tears during the Indian Removal Act of 1830. First time in our history. Back then we weren't Oklahoma, we were Indian territory. How that worked? The government made a treaty and a promise to these Native American tribes. As long as the grass grows, the water flows, the wind blows, this was supposed to be their land. It did not turn out like that. Mid-1880s, neighboring states, they petitioned to open Indian territory up to non-native settlement, what we know as the land grab. 2 decades later, we became Oklahoma. If you've ever wondered what Oklahoma means, it means red people in the Choctaw language. About 50% of Oklahoma is still Native American land. In the form of reservations, they're independent nations with their own laws and governments. Everyone from around the world to come to peace. Everyone except for the Native Americans. April 22nd, 1889, over 50,000 people showed up. When the cannon fired at high noon, they all raced. If you successfully claimed land, you paid a $14 filing fee for 160 acres. $14 back then, it's only 400 feet. Biggest game of capture the flag ever. Now a third got land, that means 2/3 were out of luck. Where were they supposed to go? A lot of them ended up right here. The morning of the land run, there were 7 documented people living at Oklahoma Station, 6 railroad workers, and the postmaster. That night, there were over 10,000 people living at Oklahoma City. We became the city built in a day. They came here because this is where the river and the railroads crossed paths. They knew commerce was going to be in this area. We had 5 land runs in total. The biggest one was in 1893. Over 100,000 people showed up for that one. It's known as an Oklahoma Sooner. The Sooners. They snuck into the unassigned lands days or weeks beforehand, found the plot they've always wanted, then hid. They didn't want to get caught. This was illegal. Day of the race, whenever they heard the cannon fire, they would jump out of hiding, run their horses around in circles, get them hot and out of breath. So if another rider happened to come upon that land, it just looked like they were beat by a faster horse. That's how the Sooners did not get caught. They were clever cheaters. And Oklahoma's official state nickname is the Sooner State. Awkward. Do you guys have any questions about the land run or anything at all? I don't know if you guys can see the tall white structure on the distance to your right, but that's River Sport Adventures. They're also going to have fireworks tonight. Yeah, that's a good time, right? Now the man who sculpted all these statues, he's right there. He's driving the 2-horse wagon closest to the water on the right. That is Paul Moore, the artist himself. It took him 19 years to sculpt all 45 statues. 19 years. He also took the liberty of including his mom. This is his mom on the left, riding side saddle. That's right, he made this. Mom, you meant. And then next to the artist is a really famous cowboy. He's nicknamed Oklahoma's favorite son. He was once the highest paid actor in Hollywood. is of Cherokee and Irish descent. That is Will Rogers. He died in a plane crash, so we named our airport after him. Now, Oklahoma City real estate is comparatively affordable. We have the second lowest cost of living as far as big cities go in the nation. There's a condo in the building ahead of us that sold for $750,000. I call it Oklahoma's oceanfront property. That's a good amount of money to pay to live above a bowling alley. Mine is, of course, the top corner. To me. If you stick your legs out, you may become defeated.